there. Greetings. Greetings on Monday. What a busy, busy week, but so still and silent. Hi, Victor. So nice that you're here. Yeah, I have been a little. And Grace, hello, beautiful, beautiful Grace. Are you back from your travels? Oh, thank you for the love and love you straight back, my love. I've been thinking of you so much this week, so I hope you've enjoyed the love. Can you hear the music? This is the Ska mantra. It is the Shiva Ska mantra, which is can be said any day, but I shall cry. But Shiva is the guardian of the sky, so he is Father Sky. And I just wanted to go live because we've got so much kind of to catch up with, or there's just so much that's happening. I took a break of silence, which was very interesting. I don't know if what it's done. It's just taken me very far away to a place of stillness, which I'm really quite happy about. It's sorted out a lot of stuff. Yeah, she's kind of back. Cool. Did you get some rain, some cool weather, Grace? My glasses have broken on me, so it's fine. So let us light on this blessed Monday, which is a very, very powerful day. Because I'll tell you now, I have said a little bit, it's the one of the most sacred months for the Hindus, the Vedic tradition, because they actually have deep reverence for Shiva and what he stands for this full month. They do give reverence to Shiva every Monday, but this is the whole month of Shiva and what he stands for. So let us just light some incense to clear this beautiful energy. Because these Indians, they love these gongs and pongs and smells and bells and chants and shouts and laughter and dance, and everything's a party for them. Life's one big party. They've really got it. I think for me at the moment, for a while now, that if I'm in doubt about something, I go to the ancient Vedic texts, but the original texts, to see what to do. So, tons of energy. So there was this interesting, we'll do bells and gongs just now. There was this interesting alignment last night, so I don't know if anybody managed to catch that and have a look, which was, you could see the Pleiades under the crescent moon. The crescent moon is also a Shiva symbol. This guy holds so much, it's actually enormous. So he holds the crescent moon as well. So that was, I don't know how often we're going to be able to see that. Oh, Grace, I'm so glad. Oh, that's so beautiful. Gosh, it's been a week. Time's gone, hey? Oh, well, it was only a week that I took off. It's like insane. So, we have this deep reverence to Shiva this for the next 3 weeks. So it's 4 weeks. And we have this energy galloping up to the Lion's Gate, but I will speak more on that tomorrow. Otherwise, the energies are going to get they really interlink so beautifully with each other. But I think just to talk about them all on one day will just be a little bit of overwhelm, because the end product of both of them are really the same, which is definitely for now. This season, it is very much the male and the female balance, connecting with our male and female. And I don't think that there are any such things as, what do they call them? Star seeds. No, it's not star seeds. Soulmates. I think it's a soul seed that we seek. It's for a long time. I don't do this. I've seen too many people wobble and crash and dive and dance. Get totally obsessed in another pretty path. of expected, but anyway. So we're really, it's the union within ourselves. Yeah. Obviously, if you have somebody that you can share it with, really beautiful. But so much of this stuff has been taken out of context or just focused on below the belt. Yeah. So it is the awakening of the Kundalini, the male and female energy. And I don't like to call it Kundalini. I like to just to call it the Shakti, the rising of the Shakti, because otherwise we get, it's also something else which was just so beautifully abused, something so sacred, and just it's fun. It's just taken a little bit out of context. Victor, have you left us? No, you're there. Yeah. Oh, Grace, I really am. There's no other word except envious to anybody that's going away. I was just looking at my reflection in the mirror, doing some mirror work, and bewailing my fate that I haven't been away for years. I do live in a very pretty place, and the greatest holiday kind of energy I get is finding a new tree that talks to me at the moment. But this is kind of ridiculous. I do hope that in the next couple of months I shall get myself off to Holland for a bit. Just one needs to get out of Germany because the energy can get very heavy. I think it's anywhere you want to actually get away from your village. So somewhere that's not your village. So I definitely don't want any more German energy. And if you go to Holland, the energy is completely different. They talk differently, they eat differently, they have a different ideal, shops are different, whereas if I go anywhere in Germany, everybody's got their Lange Straße and their Peterstraße and their Marktplatz and their Rathaus and the same stores. So you feel that you haven't really left. And that's a big thing. If you're from out of Germany, you need to go and fill up your pockets with sunshine. Otherwise, you can become very much like them. Look. No. So we have some beautiful energy of Shiva this beautiful day, which I want to just open with some prayers. So just a little quick pop in, just because Shiva deserved the accolades and the respect. So this time is hugely a focus on the stillness, on meditation, and on inner purification. So but we'll work through some beautiful mantras here. It's very nice to fast or do a partial fast or just eat very lightly in the day. You can fast in the day and eat at night. A lot of people don't eat grains or meat during this time, just as a respect. Yeah, and obviously lots of beautiful water. Our mantra is the beautiful Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, which is blending and harmonizing and connecting with the 5 elements, which is what Shiva holds, as well as much more. But we'll just start with simple. Shiva holds the 5 elements. I think that was partly how I went down this beautiful cosmic galactic hole. It's not a so in the beginning of Shiva, Shiva is the one guy, he doesn't have a beginning. He is just appeared as a column of light. So there's no official birth of Shiva. He also holds part of the sacred, the Trinity. Am I still on here? Sorry, did I disappear? Or am I still here? So I hope I'm still here. If I disappeared, forgive me. So he's part of the male Trinity, which is Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahman. Brahma is said to be the creator. Vishnu is the holder, the stabilizer, and they call Shiva the destroyer. But within destruction or the chaotic, he's just got a beautiful story. But in the beginning of Shiva, the silent flame, Before the first sound, before the first breath, there was only stillness. Out of that infinite stillness, a single pulse of awareness arose. It was neither male nor female, neither light nor shadow. This awareness was so vast and boundless that it could not be held by form or time. This is the Shiva. Not as a god with a trident, but as the silent flame, the invisible flame, the eternal wisdom that watches worlds rise and fall like waves. Shiva did not create the universe, he simply was. The formless sky upon which all stars would one day be painted. The stillness that allows the dance of creation to unfold. From this boundless presence, Shakti, the Divine Mother, energy itself, emerged, shimmering like lightning in the void. She is motion, sound, warmth, and the force of life. Together they are the two halves of all existence. Shiva is the unmovable, unmoving witness, and Shakti is the cosmic dancer. When Shakti began her dance, universes spiraled into being. Stars lit their fires, rivers of galaxies flowed, and time took its first breath. Shiva, in his deep stillness, opened his eyes just enough to see, and with a subtle smile began the anchor, the eternal point around which all life turns. This is why Shiva is called the Adi Yogi, which is the first yogi, who embodies the perfect union of stillness and awareness. The Mahadeva, the great god, not because of dominion, but because he holds the cosmic in quiet balance. The Nataraja, he is the lord of the dance, who remains calm even as the universe whirls around him. In the beginning of Shravan, we remember not the ornaments, not the myths, but the essence of Shiva, the presence beyond noise, the sky beyond the storms, the flame that never flickers. When we chant Om Namah Shivaya, we are not just calling a deity, we are awakening that same still flame within us, so we too may watch the world's chaos without being consumed by it, and allow Shakti to dance through our lives in harmony. Oh, it's still there, thank you. The deeper I embrace and learn more and more about the Hindu philosophy, the Vedic philosophies, they're almost contrary to what I think it's all the Eastern philosophies, they're almost opposite to what the West believe. I mean, Shiva, it takes, because, I've got so much like learning behind me. So it takes a lot to actually change my perspective because for us, usually the void is the feminine principle and the spark of life is actually the masculine principle, which is actually the yin and yang. That's how that works. But this is even before that. So we're working with Shiva as the complete stillness. What I just find so amazing is that these guys, and they give it in time frames, and I think people have really gone down through the eons and looked at the times and worked out the times of creation. Well, not creation, but times of when things happened on the planet. And these guys just meditate for thousands and thousands and thousands of years in absolute stillness, and nothing shakes them. So I'm not going to go maybe I should go very briefly into Shiva's first, into his first union, which was with Sati. no, I'm not really going to go to that because this one doesn't really focus on it. But that it's huge. It's just a huge another cosmic story. I am trying to piece these things together and put them all into some kind of a coherent book for Westerners to understand and embrace the huge magnificence of Shiva, not just as the blue god who might have come from another star system. I just like to say that that's the energy that they carry, whether they came from another star system or not. They are actually the very first lingam that they have is very clearly Shiva actually walking out of like a capsule, and that's like, I don't know, 6,000 years old or something. So, well, yeah, very, I won't go into it, but very briefly, he had this other relationship of this woman that he absolutely loved. She was the daughter of a king, but he was like quite horrified that this was the guy that her daughter wanted to marry, and she was totally in love with him. Just because he didn't quite fit the neighborhood, you know, he was quite the rebel. He had these crazy skanky friends. He had this matted hair. He lived wildly in the mountains and meditated and came down with these massive dreadlocks. He smoked marijuana. This is all like chronicled. Yeah. So, you know, I suppose no wonder the guy didn't think that he was going to be the best match for his girl. Trista, my lovely, welcome. So anyway, one thing and another, he had a party and he didn't invite Shiva and his daughter, and she was so incensed that she just exploded. She was like so angry. She got so angry she just burnt into flames. Well, Shiva was beside himself. There's all these beautiful stories in between there which are really valuable as lessons and to see where we are and what we do. But anyway, he was just absolutely beside himself. And he took the body of his beloved Sati and he just wailed and wailed. You know, I've said that, so, and that men, I think, would definitely love deeper than women. Well, very differently, but love deeper than women. When a man loves, it's very deep. When they hurt, they're very deep. And women tend to always be thinking that it's just their emotions, and men are cold, but they do. They cut off and protect themselves in different ways. And he would have hung on to this dead body forever if Vishnu hadn't taken it and spun his magical discus, which creates a lot of havoc, I think. Remember, Vishnu is he's the holder of balance, the maintainer, and chopped up the body into 51 pieces, which became very holy sites in India, which are the earth, the energy, the world there is just so amazing. But Shiva was like totally distraught, and off he went up to the mountain, and he just went into deep, deep meditation. Nobody could disturb him, nobody could talk to him, nobody could get through to him, and he did this for thousands of years. So there was no amazing Shiva on the planet for thousands of years. I'm not sure where it was. I must find that there's a time when Shiva was so angry with people that he, you know, it's like to destroy the creation because they had abused the word, that he wanted to take away the beach mantras so that they would not be able to create gods and goddesses. And he was talked out of that, but he wanted to actually remove the word from mankind. Anyway, that was just flopped in my head very quickly. So there he is, sitting on this mountain, and the other gods are absolutely distraught. It's like, oh, what are we going to do? You know, we need this guy, and it's also prophesied that he's going to have these children, and we need him. You know, he's the missing link in our trinity. So they kind of devised a plan, and they said, okay, well, we will have a reincarnation of Sati into this girl called Parvati. and she's like named as the daughter of the Mountain King, and she was made because she just like knew who Shiva was. She was just madly in love with him. But he wasn't interested. Remember, he's sitting up there in meditation. His eyes are kind of half closed and he's just meditating. So she is totally devoted, and this is the only guy that she wants. So off she goes into the forest and she goes into meditation. I don't know how many years and eons she went into meditation for, but first she just meditated with absolute devotion for this guy. And first she just ate fruits, and then she ate leaves, and then she ate bark, and then she ate almost nothing. Well, it came to Shiva's notice, and off he popped down, and he kind of tested her. And he said to her, "What do you want with this guy? He's absolutely no good, you know." And he really bad-mouthed. I mean, obviously he'd been really hurt by his previous father-in-law. And she said, "No. She definitely wants this guy." So let's just see these poor old guys. You know, when I read these, I often cry so much because there's just so much passion in all their meditation and their deep, deep stillness and their deep devotion and their single-mindedness for what they want. I mean, Shiva is just they do, but they don't worship Shiva. They don't worship the image of Shiva. There's lots of images of Shiva, but they worship the lingam, which is what he supposedly arrived with. And this is dearest Parvati meditating on an absolute devotion for her heart's desire. So we move into more stillness. I actually like this picture, isn't it just gorgeous? You know, he reminds me, and that was actually, I had a partner who looked like Rudolf Steiner. He actually looks a lot like the young Rudolf Steiner. Image of Shiva. So the Monday of Shravan, we remember not the ornaments, not the myths. Oh, sorry, I did that. Hey, the silence is between the bells. Shiva's presence, and that's where our enlightenment is in the silence after the Om. On the second Monday of Shravan, the world feels different. The rivers run heavy with the weight of the rains. The air hums with mantras, and somewhere beyond the sound of temple bells, there is a silence. It is said that in Shravan, Shiva walks the earth very quietly, barefoot, his matted hair heavy with the sacred Ganga, listening not to words, but to hearts. Parvati watches him, knowing his silences better than any sound. She remembers the eons she fasted, the countless days she sat still, waiting for him to turn his gaze. It was not her hunger that moved him, but the devotion in her breath. Each inhale and exhale becoming a thread, weaving him back from his cosmic solitude. On this day, as devotees pour water or milk or flowers over the Shiva Lingam, or bring flowers into your home, they are not just offerings, they are awakening. Every drop, every chant is a reminder. Union is not found by reaching outward, but by becoming so still, so full of love, that the divine cannot help but appear. And in that silence between the bells, Shiva is there, not as the destroyer, not even as the great yogi, but as the beloved who finally turns and whispers, "I never left. I was always here, waiting for you to notice." I think there's just such a deep reverence in that silence of Shiva, which you can really only start to embrace as you do the mantras. No, they're not cold. I know they're not. They're not. As I said, they're not. They love far deeper, but there's just such a big clue, such a big blueprint in the being of Shiva. You know, if you've ever loved the rebel, the crazy rebel, well, Shiva's definitely the guy for you. And it's very interesting that people, the young girls worship Shiva. They often change. You can change your deity as often as you like. Yeah. As I've said before, there's definitely somebody for somewhere. There's some goddess that will suit you. You know, they're not all virgins. In fact, all the goddesses, they're all married. They're almost all married except for Hanuman. Hanuman's not married, and it's kind of disrespectful. They're not going to say don't worship him as a girl, but it's kind of disrespectful. Yeah, you know. There's so many other. There's another 3,000,001 to worship. So you can definitely find one that you don't have to worship Hanuman. He's very much for the. I would say more the young boys, the young guys. Yeah. But he does. He calls us hugely to stillness. I mean, for me, I've been drawing on for a long time on the essence of this meditation, this deep meditation, and the deep devotion that brought him out of his sadness. It was just absolute sadness and devastation that he just went into retreat. Yeah, which a lot of men will do. Yeah, when they've lost their first love and done everything that they possibly could. Yeah. So as we move into the stillness, and I just really ask, because we're going to, I ask of you all to do this, but just really suggest that you do spend time, whether it's with Shiva, but just the stillness, to get into the heart, to breathe. I've been going on about this for a long time now. We're kind of galloping towards the Lion's Gate. We'll move into more the union and the yoga. I mean, they did so much, the Shiva and Bhavati. You know, they created yoga, they created Ganesha, they created war as well. Between the two of them, and it is the rising of that Kundalini, or the rising of the Shakti energy. But remember that it comes, we're going to work on this week. I think it's so important to get back into focus, into the breathing up and down your spine, keeping that channel clear, working beautifully with the rainbow bridge, because we are moving into the rainbow body day by day. And the energy of the Lion's Gate is just a little more of the Syrian elders. I'll also talk about them a little bit more during this week, who they are and what they stand for. But just basically that they govern hugely the Christ consciousness. Okay, so a lot say that Mary Magdalene and Yeshua were originally Syrian. For me, it doesn't really matter. I just want to go to the stillness, way beyond all of that anyway. Which is, yeah, as I said, then you can go meditate for thousands and thousands of years as well. In that absolute bliss place of beauty and stillness. Now I'm back at the point where I want to just walk around with my eyes closed, sit on my bed and meditate. So, yeah. Very nice. That's really nice indeed. Who was smoking in the story? Smoking the ganja. Shiva. Shiva's the ganja king. But yet again, I mean, there's a huge surge in Shiva and the path of Tantra again. But in India, it got a little bit warped and twisted this side. But it's going on for another level. It's not the sex part of it at all. It's the part that Shiva eats meat, Shiva can drink, Shiva smokes, especially the ganja. Shiva has dreadlocks. He's the rebel. He's the Lord of the music. He's the Lord of the dance. Yeah. So he's very, very appealing, which is great. He's very, very appealing to, you should have known. He's very appealing to the young guys. Yeah. You know, rather they smoke a bit of ganja bhat than they go into the chemicals, which the Indians were very good at going into the making pharmaceuticals, you know, in their backyard. So I come from South Africa. We know this stuff. Most of the illegal drugs came from India. Yeah, during the festivals, it's very common. There are drinks made with marijuana, but it's this particular marijuana which is so powerful, which is actually from the Himalayas. Yeah, and they smoke a lot. And the Aghoris, those are the guys that look like Shiva, you know, with the long weird hair. Yeah, and they live in the mountains or in the snow, and they don't deal with people. And the story behind them, I'm going off the tangent, but it's fine. The story behind them is that way back when, you were ostracized from society if you killed a Brahmin, a priest class. A priest, you know, priests were married, they had children, they were just learners of the knowledge, and generally good, but generally businessmen as well. It's not our version of a priest. All the priests are married as well. I mean, obviously there's some that don't get married, but most of the priests in India are married. They don't do this chasteness. They are, yeah, but they don't really. So anyway, so if they killed, then they would have to go out they would be chased out into the mountains, into the forest, and not allowed to associate with people. And the thing was that they were supposed to pluck all their hair out and have no hair on their head. But then it moved into having the dreadlocks of Shiva. And there were quite a lot of Brahmin priest class that got killed because these guys were ostracized. And they weren't fed by anybody, so they landed up like skulking around the cremation grounds. They do the kind of work that nobody will do. So there's absolutely, in this religion, there's and like thousands and thousands of years. Now it's like moved into various head left or those that have the right or various different sects. Some stay some in the earth, in the bottom of the Himalayas. Yeah, and they very heavy. All that they have, that bowl is not a bowl, and have that, so they would have to get a on the ground to use as a bowl which they would eat with. Out of the initiations, that they eat the flesh from the cremation grounds, but it's not always. It's like do that path of good and the dark path, and there are women as well. But there will often be, and they always have a dog. They love dogs. They're very into their animals. They will usually be caught. Doesn't have to be. That's like old stories that they eat like flesh. Some do. They don't go out finding somebody. These are from the bodies that are on the cremation grounds. Part of the initiation is to sit. Why am I telling you this? Is to sit on top of a corpse before it's burnt. So they really cross their fear boundaries very much, and then Kali will appear to them. Kali wants her blood. Oh, thanks. Oh, interesting stories. But yeah, they will, you know, and there's stories in the Bible of this as well. You know, I can't remember who it was. He was supposed to like cook his food over his own excrement. He said, no, God, I can't do this. So, okay, God, change that. But they will be told to do the same thing or to eat excrement Not forever. It's not going to be their diet. It's just a one-off or something. And some they do drink. Not all. It's not a thing. But they don't drink to get drunk. They drink. It's more holy alcohol. So they drink to get very trippy out. You know, I used to enjoy. What was that stuff with the worm in? Oh, not tequila. They called it mezcal because it lived in the mezcal plant. It was really trippy. And yeah, you don't get drunk on that stuff. And in fact, the hangover was always the best day. Yeah. So with all of this stuff that I'm going through, I was going a little bit, and it happens to me quite often. I think it just happens in my life. Over the years, I just get so involved in so many things that I'm doing that I have to like, throw stuff out and know what I'm doing. So, or just compartmentalize it, compact it into one. So I'm working, and I do love to work. I can't just be still and silent all the time. So besides creating a really beautiful holy space here where I am, is to create that inner silence and just bring in that Shiva and Shakti, which for now I'm starting with the heart. So I'm offering that to you guys, and you can just, some of my deepest stuff I've gone through. Where are we? Because we will move into this blessed girl. It's her day tomorrow, Parvati, and she's just so beautiful. But we should be either that stillness, that, and obviously these guys meditated in nature, so we know that our nature, wonderful nature, is for us. And yeah, Shiva holds all of that. He holds the nature, he holds the stars, he holds the cosmos, he holds the stillness, he holds the sound, he holds, I said, the dancing. And then of course he has these children which hold everything else. So they hold everything else. And right now at the moment, I think it's at the end of this week, I'm not quite sure what the holiday is, but Vishnu, who's the maintainer, who maintains balance, goes on holiday. He goes into his meditation. So basically Shiva's left in charge. So the more still and the more we can tune right now, it's really important to tune into our stillness, and to create that harmonic balance without too many loops and ups and downs. And just, we're going to go up and down, please, thank God, because if we're completely still, we'll be dead, which is fine. If you've been in meditation sometimes and you just, maybe you should breathe. It's quite a nice meditation when you stop breathing. But I've been on about, and I don't have a picture of it up here, me and my lotus, the lotus in the heart, the Om Mani Padme Hum, which is to just tune into that beautiful lotus and tune into that. It's very simple with all the noise that's out there, and all the modalities and all the beliefs and all the unearthing of, and all the different religions and the sects and the ancients and the this and the that and the those, and it's just so nice to say enough, just nothing, just one thing. So for me is hugely just the stillness and the beautiful pearl within my heart, which is just pulsing and just beating and just shimmering. It can go everywhere and everything can be created out of that, and then it can come back again into that beautiful stillness. So I hope you can learn something or get something from that. It's just that pearl, just visualize, and you're working at the same time with that beautiful rainbow body creation. Okay, so the invocation of the pearl and the pillars. Beloved source within my heart, pearl of eternal light, lotus of infinite grace. I breathe the strength of earth, I breathe the wisdom of stars, and in my still point, they are one. From this heart, love flows to every realm, to every being. Rainbow light, pure and free. I am the axis. I am the sanctuary. I am the breath of the infinite. And so it is. Beloved light within, sacred pearl resting in my heart, lotus of peace and beauty. With every breath, I awaken you. With every breath, you expand. Your light grounds me. Your light lifts me. Your light flows through me. To every being, everywhere. In this still point, I am whole. In this still point, I am love. Cheerio, Trista. Lots of love. Bless, bless, bless. Have an awesome day. Yeah, so just we've been speaking about that for a long time, about coming back into the heart, breathing through the heart, expanding the heart, coming back into the heart, breathing up and down. That's how the Shakti works. That's how the Kundalini awakens. It awakens from the bottom, slowly, 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 through the heart to where Shiva is waiting. You can also just breathe from the rooted bottom. Breathe up and breathe out, bringing your energy down. That will bring the beautiful male and female energy within the heart. Do we ever stop working with this stuff? I mean, then it's oneness, this duality of sorts, this energy that should all be one within ourselves. It's not, it shouldn't be outside there. Yeah. I wonder if we ever stop working with this. I think there are just so many sad stories all over in all the religions. Well, they're poignant, maybe not sad, but there's just so much heartbreak, so much longing of the heart. Yeah. So I'm going to leave us with a prayer, and I'm going to put my favorite picture that I just created of, which for me really is up. I'm going to post these on. I'll post this in the prayer on Discord. Yeah, I've been very. This has taken me down an enormous cosmic galactical expansion. It's not a rabbit hole. It's just an enormous galactical expansion. This is just so the Shiva Shakti, which there is also this when they join. There is it's actually half. It's got a name. It's half Shiva and half Shakti. So it's half male, half female. And sitting in this delicate rainbow body, just so beautiful and so blissful and so peaceful. So just be still in your heart and get meditating and pour your love and your devotion out onto the earth. Sit in the earth, connect with the earth, connect with the sky, bring it into your still point in your heart. Walk with your heart open like a little rainbow bubble, expanding and contracting, expanding and contracting. Because that's all we're going to be doing, is just like flowing with this energy of the universe within us. You know, we're just like little cosmic shimmers. Yeah. Right now we still have bodies, but they're disappearing. So I'm going to put this as a daily awakening invocation. I strongly suggest you write it down. It's really beautiful. And maybe use this in the morning or sometime in your day. It's very special. Beloved source within my heart, pearl of light in the lotus of my being. With my first breath, I awaken. With my next breath, I expand. Each inhale draws in peace. Each exhale pours out love. May my steps today be soft blessings. May my words be threads of compassion. May my heart be a sanctuary where earth and stars meet as one. Shakti rises within me like a gentle stream, guided by love, steadied by grace. In all I touch, may light be planted. In all I meet, may beauty be revealed. I awaken in love. I walk in compassion. I breathe as the infinite. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Beauty before me, beauty behind me. Oh, beauty above me, beauty below me. All is surrounded in beauty. All is beauty. Oh, wonderful. Well, they do, hey? Are they shining even more? Oh, I'm so glad you had beautiful, fun time in the water and just connected with the Holy Mother. It's all the secrets, everything's in the water. We talk ourselves around in square circles, you know. And sometimes it's just there's so much knowledge out there, but so little wisdom. So it's just come back to that still point and breathe in that beautiful little pearl. And just whatever you do it with sacredness and with consciousness. And as you know, each person's path is different. I do keep being reminded how different I am, but I know, I'm still a person. I'm still the same as everybody else, but I am like really different. On whatever level, it's complicated to accept, to cope with. Yeah. So I love and I leave you to a most beautiful afternoon. Have a most wonderful time. I hope it's not too hot where you are, Grace. Go and sit and meditate and just think about the beautiful holiday that you had. That's time of a rest in your head. Many years ago when I went to Canada, I sold my camera. I sold a lot of things to get overseas, and one of them was my camera. And we went to Canada, and it was just so beautiful. It was just too much beauty, miles and miles and miles of beauty, beauty, beauty. And I think maybe that's where I started to see things differently. It came out of practicality. I said to my son at the time, I said, we have to, because we haven't got a camera, we have to look extra, extra, extra special with our eyes so that we take deep photographs inside. And I can, at any given moment, I can close my eyes and see parts, lots of Canada that we went to, the forests and the bears. Hi, Linda. Oh, thank you. It is so beautiful. Yeah. I'm going for a water walk now, and I'm going to post that and this very, very beautiful image on Discord. So, yeah, so it was just looking extra special with big, big eyes because we didn't have a camera. We get lazy with the camera, like we get lazy with movies. We get lazy now with AI. It's going to take a lot of interesting stuff happening. Anyway, I love us, I leave us. May we all meet in the water in water prayers, little droplets of rainbows. I hope PG's having a wonderful time river rafting. I think he said he was going to be river rafting, so we will see him. I don't think on Wednesday, it was probably on Tuesday or Thursday. So love, 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 and thank you so, so, so much. And just breathe in stillness. It's all about stillness. Yeah. If you can remain calm while others are losing their head. So love us all, and we'll see you later sometime, somewhere through YouTube. Many, many blessings from my heart to your heart. Mwah. Bye.